Hi, my name is Tina Wilson, and I'm one of the creators of the Boycott Proctor and Gamble on Facebook. I created that page a while back, and I've gotten um, definitely some support, and I'm definitely petitioning for support for our petition that's actually circulating on change.org, and it's boycott Procter and Gamble always products. And the reason why I feel so strongly about this movement, which now it has become a movement, and it's very disconcerting because it's as if we're being put into a homophobic light because we choose to identify as female and identify as empowered females, and we loved the Venus symbol, and it would have been missed by many of us because of the empowerment that it gave us as girls, coming into the fruition of our womanhood, and puberty was one of the signs that you were transitioning from a girl to a teenager, and then teenager, of course, into womanhood. When you get your menstrual cycle as a female, once again, that's your definite sign that you're no longer a child and that your body is preparing you to have a child. And God forbid that you're 10 and you start your period, and unfortunately, you kind of get into motherhood at such a young age because it's you still have a lot of growing to do, and your cognitive abilities are still processing from just childhood at 10 is kind of early. However, that's not the topic. The topic is, why would Procter and Gamble feel that one tweet, and this tweet was from Melly Bloom. Yes, Melly Bloom. Could someone from Always tell me why it is imperative to have the female symbol on their sanitary products? Because it's for females. It's not for males. It never was about male or manhood. Sanitary products are for girls and women. That's why Procter and Gamble and the Always distribution and marketing team had a puberty videos for girls, and they have now a movement, the National Period Day on October 19th, and it's for girls and women. And now all of a sudden, because of non-binary and trans folks who still need to use those products too, well, they should take the symbol off for them, but keep the symbol on for us consumers that once again are empowered by that Venus symbol. I think it's very unfair that in one vein we're empowered through the women's rights movement and the feminist and feminism movement, and equal pay, and we're really identifying as taking our femininity to the war combat zone, and we're saying, hey, we're female and we're feminine, but we can also fire a M16 or M14 or M24 or whatever they're using. Now I use M16 as a Marine. And yes, I am a Marine. I'm a veteran. And I understand the plight of women to be included and to not be excluded as far as wage equality and things of that nature. I'm not dumb, nor am I not compassionate to equality. I'm a Black woman. There you go. And in the Marine Corps, gender bias is just one of the problems. So I'm not insensitive to that. I'm not insensitive to the gay community, to the LGBTQ community that have been discriminated against to such a level that they felt that they had to pair with ACLU and make their complaints and really make their reality known, that they were being discriminated against in the workplace. And then they fought for same-sex marriage, and they won that battle in many states. And now they're so empowered that everything that can be said in the workplace or in a circle of women, and now as far as the Venus symbol in our feminine product aisle, that we're being homophobic or insensitive, or we're excluding, the trans community, and it's just becoming as if they're bullying every section of society. Include us, include us, include us. We want to be included in this. We want to be looked at as, you're already looked at as human beings. If you did not make it apparently known that you were gay when you're walking down the street, unless it's by your mannerism, you're saying, hey, look at me, I'm a gay male, oh girl, and things of that nature, then okay, that's you. Okay, congratulations. But don't, if a heterosexual male, if he moves out of the way because he doesn't want to be touched by a man, in an inappropriate way, then all of a sudden he's homophobic. All of a sudden, if women are sitting in a circle, born women, their sexual preference is not an issue here. That's never been the issue with why we're complaining and boycotting against Procter and Gamble. The issue is not getting our consent. The consumers that have, we have really made that brand as popular as it is. We have bought that brand. We have been empowered by that brand. And to say that we won't miss the Venus symbol, you're sadly wrong. You took one tweet from a man, and that man said that their friend who is transitioning, okay, non-binary, transitioning, but still has a period. They one tweet used the term that they would feel, I'm going to break it down to urban language, some kind of way, because they still have to deal with their period, but they don't identify as female, they identify as male. Well, your body identifies as female because only female have a menstrual cycle, period, point blank. There's no argument. There's not a man on this earth that has a menstrual cycle, because he does not, born male, does not have a uterus. Women have uterus unless they have a birth defect or a birth condition where they're born without a uterus, or born without ovaries, or born without fallopian tubes. But every woman, not one man has ever walked this earth and had a uterus. And that's what a menstrual cycle entails. Those are the functionalities of your uterus. Every month, the lining sloughs off, and it's called a menstrual cycle. That's your cycle where either an egg is nourished by sperm, okay? And if it does not implant itself to the uterine wall, then that uterine wall, that thickening of that wall, it's actually layered to hold that zygote, or that fertile egg, and it becomes a child. It holds it right there. Okay, that's its function. And if there's no function, if there's no type of what do we call it? Oh, anyway, I can't think of the word right now. However, if there's no process to anything being implanted on that wall, then that thickening wall, it sloughs off, and that causes the blood and the cycle, and just that unused tissue, if you will. And women, we have to deal with that. We have to deal with that. Now, just because a woman is transitioning into her identification as male, she still has a female body, even if she's had a mastectomy, or however you say it, mastectomy. Even if she has that, still her lower regions, okay, her unmentionable, still. So for the sake of women, that we still have that connection until you make that complete transition, then why would you, even though you're transitioning to male, why would you be so insensitive to the rest of us? At one time, the empowerment of the Venus symbol became such we matter moment for women. Even though I identify with pink because I like the color. Maybe it's because I'm a woman. Maybe I just like the color. I don't know. That's not the point. But to be empowered as a woman and recognized as a female in certain things I don't want to be included in because I am a female, because I'm just separate in that vein of thought. There are certain things for males and there are certain things for females. That's the way it was designed, whether you believe in God or not. So I'm appalled at the fact that we weren't consulted. We weren't the consumer base for Procter and Gamble and Always products. We weren't given the survey. We weren't contacted and say, hey, we have this group over here, and we would have told you straight up, keep the Venus symbol for us, and then for those that don't identify and they're non-binary or trans, then take it off for them. Not a problem, because what are you going to do now? Just mix in the feminine products and sanitary products and take away our right to be private about the matter, if you will, to be kind of prude. I guess it's being a prude. I don't care what you call it, or chase. You know, it's going to always, even though it's widely accepted that women have a menstrual cycle, little boys know that. I mean, we teach our sons, hey, my mom used to tell my brother, hey, she's not feeling well, don't play with her like that, things of that nature, because that's the time of the month where my body is doing a thing that I cannot control. I mean, you can take, there's some birth control pills, and even now where you can stop your period. Hey, that's on you. That's what you want to do. That's on you. However, for those of us that still have a menstrual cycle, we don't choose to mess with, our bodies and things of this nature, then hey, leave us be. And we rather like, being identified as feminine products. Feminine products are for, especially that time of the month, are for women, period. Whether you're transitioning male or not, it's still, there's no argument there. You still have that reproductive system that is still functioning properly. If it wasn't functioning properly, then you wouldn't feel some kind of way about a Venus symbol. I mean, it's become so, the LGBTQ community have really bullied their way into a lot of organizations, and a lot of us are considered homophobic if we say anything, or we're facing a lawsuit, or we're being it's considered sexual harassment. And we've always had that fine line. As a matter of fact, it was a gulf between what's acceptable for men. There's still an inappropriate way or mannerism about men that they have to understand, and they have to contend with the fact that women, we have breasts, we have hips, we have a butt. You can't be touching all over us in inappropriate ways and expect it to be okay. That's not equality, because we're women, you're men. You go and use a urinal when you have to urinate, and we go and we sit, squat, period, to urinate. So there's a gulf. There's not really a fine line. And so, for those of you, once again, that want to support this movement, that want to be heard, because we have a voice. We've had this voice for decades. We fought for this empowerment as women. And to just be pushed aside as if our voice doesn't matter, if our dollars don't matter by Procter and Gamble and the Koch or Coach or whatever their name is, brothers, you're very insensitive, and you were very mean spirited not to contact and not to run a survey or not to ask our opinion. because it's sad that the majority of the world, I mean, you can be woke and you can be sensitive and you can be supportive of the LGBTQ community, and sometimes it's still not enough. We have literally been thrown under the bus, and our feelings no longer matter. No matter how we support our children, a lot of us have gay children. We're saying, hey, you don't have to feel that, we're not going to love you because now you identify as same sex, you're gay man or gay female, with no problem. Okay, so you want to have you're transsexual now. Okay, well, you're still my, okay, now I have to identify with you as my daughter, although I gave birth to a son, but I still love you. I still love you. I will never stop loving you. But there are still certain areas that we cannot compromise. And this is an area that I feel that we have had enough shoved down our throats, and our consumer dollars meant absolutely nothing. And all the videos that Procter and Gamble and all the National Period Day for girls and females actually can just flush to hell, because we don't know what you're going to change now that identify us as female, as women. What are you going to change next? Are you going to take, no, we can't use feminine anymore? We can't use that because a transgender woman doesn't have a period. So, and we can't stop having our period. We can't stop having babies. So, what's going to change next? I mean, a Pandora's box has been opened. While one minority is being empowered, the majority is being like, whoa. And I guess the white supremacists say the same thing. We bought, we stole, we kidnapped Africans to bring them over here to work. We didn't bring them over here to have equal rights and to be treated as human beings. This is not the same conversation. This is not the same brand of equality that we're talking about here, folks. We're talking about something that Procter and Gamble may have considered minute. Oh, they won't even miss the symbol. How dare you? How dare you? How dare you? Wrong answer, pimp. How dare you? How dare you? That's all I have to say. Please don't forget to support our page on Facebook, Boycott Procter and Gamble. That's at Boycott Procter and Gamble. We also headline as Boycott Procter and Gamble always. Whichever you type in, it'll come up, and it's moderated and by Tina Wilson, myself, and we also have a petition. Please, please, please don't forget. There are several petitions that are circulating, and I support all of them. And that is Procter and Gamble, Boycott Procter and Gamble always. God bless and have a good evening.